All right.
Well,
All right.
Oh,
Ready?
I'm still dying, but I guess.
Every time I ask ready, it's just silence, and I get scared that I'm disconnecting or something.
no.
All right. All right. Hello, everyone.
You're already not
Whoops.
doing good as host. Alright, look, I'm sick, but I got you. I
Hello,
got you.
everyone, and welcome to the podcast with no name. My name's Dennis. This is Andrew, and we have a special guest.
Say hi.
I did. Hi.
All right. Love that.
I have no name, by the way.
His name's Nate.
Oh, hi.
I thought it was Ethan.
Or
I don't know.
It's Etan.
Wait, what? Okay. I'm confused. What's your name?
Oh, I get it, because you whipped the name around.
Etan. Etan as a cheesecake.
This is already going downhill. Anyways.
Yeah, you're right.
So anyways, today...
So,
Today's podcast is brought to you by disease. The only thing that kills man
Yeah,
quicker than
and-
man itself.
I'm still dying from last week.
he gave me his death.
It's
I've
gotten worse for
managed
me
to
over
make it
time.
I've managed to make it through mowing the lawn and working with spackle and wall stuff, and not fully dead yet. So
And I've just been sitting here doing nothing, and I'm still getting sicker. Makes no sense.
And that's probably why he's still sick, is he hasn't seen the sunlight in a day or so, and sunlight's good for your...
Photosynthesis.
Yes, actually. Sometimes I use big words that I don't understand, so people think I'm really smart at photosynthesis.
Is that where robots take pictures of each other?
Photosynthesis.
No, it's where
No.
plants create food for themselves
Robust pictures.
through the nucleus.
I have never heard the word
Um,
robust actually be used.
Who said robust?
Andrew.
No, I said
said
robots.
Oh.
My dad used to do that whenever we used to go to church. He'd pick up coffee for me at McDonald's, and I'd be in there. He's like, they go, does he want cream and sugar for his coffee? He goes, no, he likes his coffee like he likes his men, robust.
I don't even know what this word means.
Robust?
Yeah, I've never heard the word used in a context. Like I've never used it in a
Prominent?
I've never
I
heard it
don't
used
know.
in a sentence or anything.
Wow, you got some robust chest hair. I don't know.
Thick?
Yeah,
Don't make me laugh.
Wow. Thick.
with
I
three
didn't say
C's.
anything. Oh,
Okay, sorry.
getting off track. Yeah, my fault. this
So-
time.
It doesn't matter. We
No, it's not.
keep these things going for like 2 hours.
Please, please, content.
Content.
No, this can be any
So-
time. Like, it could be 20 minutes, it could be 2 hours. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just say it like that.
I don't know. I love you.
Oh.
I love you.
I love you.
So, anyways,
No, last night
we got the
last
chance
night
to
Andrew
play
and I were playing
Fallout.
Fallout, and last night we played Fallout, and like this monster kept monsters kept running away from me, but then I would catch up to them and trap them, and they would not die, and they would not attack me like death claws.
Was it-
And then I died from something stupid, and I turned to Andrew and I go, "Save me," and he goes, "No, I'm not fast traveling back to you. That costs money," and I'm like, "I love you."
Ah, you're so lucky I can't do that voice.
I love you. Please come
The
back to
neck
me.
snaps. I love you.
No,
Oh,
seriously,
man.
I sit my head back and do like 6 chins. If I had a webcam, you'd see it.
I would be terrified. I'm not gonna lie, Dennis. Like, I love you to death. Like, I love everything about you. But if I ever saw that, I would be terrified.
I would too.
I love
And I've seen him.
I'm just imagining your neck snapping and just, I love you. What is going on with you?
I'm
They're
not gonna
everything.
lie. I just took a picture of me doing it so I could put it into the podcast.
Jeez.
It's gonna happen. So speaking of speaking of Fallout, Andrew and I finally got a chance to play it, and he finally got the chance to play it
Tuesday night at
after
midnight.
I played the beta. And Nate's done something, I guess.
Mine's glitched. I can't play with friends. Now you could just say I don't have friends, but no, I got a few. I only got 3, but I can't play with those friends. I don't think
3.
they love me either way.
Aw.
Well, that's 3 chances you have to play.
Yeah. Maybe they're just not robust enough.
Yeah.
Um,
You gotta spice it up a little,
I
you
am
know?
plenty robust.
Spice it up.
Spice it up. Spice it up. Oh no, people are sending me messages. So like I said, we played Fallout. I want to know what you think about it now, Andrew, that you've actually played it and experienced it.
It's fun. I mean, compared to the other games, I think I'm still liking Fallout 3 the most. It's because of how simple it was and the story from it. It's just unbeatable for me. I just see no point to the multiplayer. Like, it's just there. Like, to play with your friends and everything is cool, but other people are just there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're people that come out of the vault too. Like,
Which makes
if there
sense.
was no one
but-
else, it'd be so lonely.
True.
No, I don't
Fallout
like the
4 seems pretty
multiplayer
lonely,
either.
If you ask me, that's just me.
Fallout
What do I
4
know?
is one of my favorites, I still think.
Nah, Fallout New Vegas is where it's at.
No, you leave New Vegas out of this.
Never, I never got into Vegas too much. I liked it, but I never got into
Really?
it like
You
I
never
did
got into
everything
Vegas?
else. I played it, I beat it, I just never
Played
got
like an hour and a
into
half
it.
of
Vegas
it.
to
Fallout
me
3 and
was
4.
one of my all-time favorite Fallout games.
Yeah.
To me, I loved Fallout New Vegas more than.
Oh, there goes my party. What up? We're missing this section of the podcast, unfortunately.
I'm comparing my love for the game itself.
Okay. I've never played
You know
Rune
what I'm saying?
Escape, so I don't know.
You've never played Rune Escape?
No, I've never played Rune Escape.
That is
Rune
a
Escape.
sin, my child. You have
Calling it
committed
Rune
treason
Escape or never
against the
playing it?
tribe.
I never played Rune Escape.
Both.
What tribe is there? Is there tribes in the game? Because I'm not a part of one. I've never played it.
No, let's change the subject back to Fallout. I discorded this. I distanced us from the
No, I'm
conversation.
enjoying Rune Escape. I might want to play it now.
Rune Escape
just
is
kidding.
a great game. All right.
Well, didn't they say they were making a RuneScape original? Like remaking it?
It's already out. It's already out. It's
Oh.
already out. No worries. It's already out.
No,
It's
did you say
it's
no
pretty much-
worries?
Yeah, no worries. It's already out.
I wasn't worried.
I
They also
I
have
wasn't gonna
RuneScape
play it
Mobile.
regardless.
Oh wow.
So in case you wanna scream your eyes out from a dang, I died again. Okay, from a dang what are those things called? They're like crabs but with tails.
I've never played
Wow.
Rune Escape.
What is it called? A scorpion. There you- oh,
What are those crabs with tails? Oh yeah, scorpions. That's what I'm calling now. It's crabs with tails.
They are crabs with tails. You cannot lie. You
Yeah,
know they
whatever
are
you
crabs
want to
with
say.
tails. They are. They are crabs with tails.
I don't know how you see that.
Do you not see it? The crabs have claws, yeah. Even though I think they're arachnids actually. Scorpions are at least. I think they're considered arachnids.
I hate any creatures besides cats. Pretty much.
You don't like dogs?
Okay. I think the feeling
I
is
like
mutual
dogs,
with the
but-
cats. Cats
mean-
don't like you though.
Tigers
They
are pretty
don't.
cool.
Tigers are okay. I mean, tigers are cats.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean,
Them-
alligators are pretty cool too.
Those are not cats.
Those are nowhere near cats.
No, duh, I would hope it's not a cat.
You don't
I
want
would
an
really hope
alligator
it-
to be a cat?
No, that would be terrifying. Just imagine having that thing sitting in your living room. Welcome to Florida.
On the bright side, you get no burglars.
Ah, true.
Or
true.
burgers.
You gotta pet. Oh yeah, all your burgers are gone. But
Yeah,
we are
I like
fu-
You make burgers,
back to
alligators
Fallout.
just ate them all.
Feelings about Fallout. Back to feelings about Fallout.
Uh,
This
So,
Let's get back to what we originally this whole thing was started
so
about.
what did you think about Fallout
Real
Dams
quick.
after playing the beta?
I don't know what that thing was in the noises. I mean, I got to play more of it. That was the big thing. Was there was more to do. I enjoyed like there's a character in it. I don't want to say much about it because well, if you're watching my series, which if you're not, please do, and watch Andrew's as well.
Both uploading.
We're
I'm
literally
only
playing together,
uploading.
So either way, you're just gonna see someone else's perspective. But
You can watch my perspective, but yeah, I have to post something first.
yeah, you can watch his
It's a bad
perspective,
habit
which
of
is
mine.
watching our videos. But
You can watch someone else watch our videos.
I mean
Yeah.
that sounds like a good plan.
It's a React series.
We need views.
Subscribe to my channel. I'm the
but-
finger. Wait, no, that's not my channel.
Subscribe to Control today.
Shipping and handling is not included.
What are we shipping?
Why are we
My
handling things?
subscription.
Yeah, I don't like to
Handle you?
handle things.
I
Whoa.
like to handle bars.
Because I can ride my bike with no handlebars?
I mean,
Great song.
I can't.
No, don't get that stuck in my head.
I could ride no bike with no leaves on the ground.
Oh my.
Because all the
All
leaves
the
are dead,
leaves are
Dennis.
dead.
All the leaves are dead.
California.
No wheels on the ground. Okay, listen, man. You need to stop with your Houdini witchcraft right now, okay?
All right. No, but I thought it was good. And then, getting back to Fallout, some of the characters in it are kind of funny. Still miss the human interaction, and I was like super excited for a part in it where there's like you talk to this person and her name's Rose, and she like gives you all these quests you have to do for her, and you get to meet her after
Okay.
doing like a really long hour-long quest. You get to meet her, and
Oh.
she sounds human. You go up the stairs, you go up the third floor of the elevator. It's a robot.
Yeah, he mentioned like
It's
she
a
sounds like
coverage.
Tiny Tina from Borderlands.
She acts
gosh.
like it, and she's the voice actor of what's the girl from Bob's Burgers with the ears?
Tina?
It is Tina. Oh my gosh.
She plays the
No,
same
but-
characters.
Tina's the weird awkward one. Tina's the awkward
Yeah.
one. Never mind. Don't. Yeah, Tina's the awkward
Oh,
one.
Wasn't that
the one with the
Louise?
Pink bunny ears.
Louise is the one with the bunny ears.
Okay, it's the voice actors for her. So like she's already a goofball. So like putting her on a robot, and like there's
You know
lore
she does the
to it,
voice
and I
of
like
Meg,
the
doesn't
lore
she?
of Meg. No, that's
Yeah,
no,
for
that's
Family
not
Guy.
her.
It's Family Guy.
No,
Yeah, it
the
is.
voice of Meg is Ashton Kutcher's wife
Yeah, I know. That's the same chick. She does the voice
from
for
Bad
Louise.
Moms. No, it's a
Yeah,
different
I know.
girl.
She does the voice for Louise.
No, she doesn't.
She does the voice for someone else. I'm pretty sure it's Louise.
I cannot see
No.
that.
No,
I'm going
it's-
to look this up.
The girl that talks like Louise, that's her normal voice. The girl
Who does
that
the-
talks like Meg.
Yeah, because she was
that's her normal voice.
the girl who plays Louise. She was
Who
also
does the voice
in
of Louise from Bob's
Last
Burgers?
Man on Earth. If you ever watched that,
I wanted to. How was that?
it's actually pretty good. I don't even know if it's coming back. I haven't heard anything about it. I normally watched it.
Well, when he dies, there's no one else.
No, they've met plenty of people. Like there's still people alive in the world.
Yeah.
Like, they keep the story going.
So why did they call it The Last Man on Earth if there's more people?
Because he was
Because-
the last guy.
They weren't planning to add
Oh.
other people until further down the road. That was like, okay, we can't just make a story about
Oh.
one guy doing everything. So,
So is everyone else a girl?
I mean,
So it's like
the
a
guy
solo
meets like
Wonder
3
Woman.
different girls at first. And at first he's like, we need to repopulate. So he tries to get with like all 3 of them to make a baby.
Apart from me.
Do they make a baby?
Yeah.
No, they did not make a baby. What? They
Yeah.
did?
Season
three?
season
I know it's the season
3, they made there was like 3 babies at that point.
Oh wow.
I
But
just dropped my
So what
orb.
was
I
it? Was
dropped
it
my
a
orb.
rapture?
it was just like a disease that just spread the entire world. A bunch of people died from it.
So,
Oh, okay, so
Division.
it's like day 5 for Mr. Teeth.
I never.
Oh, it's
I don't know.
Division.
It's kind of like
Um,
Division, yeah, but there's no like war or anything. It's just over
Was it a
I would say
big
like
war
90,
zone?
97% of the population died. So,
That's a lot of death.
yeah.
That's a
There's,
lot
like,
of bring
barely
back your
anyone.
dead.
It is a good show. But back to Fallout.
No, but like I said, there's a lot of
Wait, what are we
lore.
talking about, Fallout?
Everything I said in the last, everything I said in the last video is still pretty much some of the things that I still address now. Like the fact that there could have been a single player mode, because the first night we played, Andrew and I could not join the server for like 16
It was
minutes.
so broken. And then they finally
And then I
updated it.
reset my Xbox, which they updated it again, like when we played last night, and it like fixed a lot of things that they did in the beta that they took out.
Yeah.
Previously, you could see your friends on like their name above your name and see their health, and you could see their level and see them easier on the map. Whereas the first night we played, we couldn't even see each other.
There was nothing. Like, you had to pretty much guess where your teammate was.
The missions
Really?
are fixed. I'm mad about cows.
You're still going on about that?
What?
I tried
Please
to kill
do,
a cow because there is a mission at the beginning of the game. After you purify water, you are to do something with
Spoiler alert.
cows, and you have to get their meat, and you have to cook the meat. Okay, and it says it's an
So you're
optional
making a steak.
part is to collect the ribeye or is to collect the cow meat. It's optional, yet you have to make steak. So it's not optional, and they don't have any cows around. And when there are cows, they're dead, and they don't have anything on them because the game lags and you can't pick up anything. And then
I
you
mean-
find a cow, you go to kill the cow, you can't kill the cow because the cow's glitched. You try to blow it up, you end up blowing yourself up, and it's just great.
If you haven't watched his first video on his channel, it's like his entire first playthrough is just broken.
And then it goes into the second video. But don't worry, it gets better because I found a death claw that I hurt us. So I just kept following her around, and I was hitting it with like a sign and a golf club for like 20 minutes.
Well, it just kept climbing the
Andrew
hill.
walked away. That was my favorite thing. Andrew's like, I'm gonna go ahead to the quest. I'm like, you have your quest, I have mine.
My objective is literally punch a death claw to death.
And then he glitched into a rock and Houdini'd out of there.
If you can't Houdini out of your issues, then I don't know what you're doing with life.
But there's some things like there's dragons, not dragons, but there's something that
Is there
can
Kraken?
fly that
We saw something flying
flew
around.
because of the radiation. And
That
I
was
saw
the,
it like
that was
5
the
times last night.
Bull bat thing?
And I told-
Isn't it? It's like-
I think so, yeah. And I told Andrew, I'm like, something's following us. It's been following us the whole time. And he's like, oh, I don't see it. And I'm like, look there. He's like, oh, that? And I go, I've seen that like 7 times. I look forward to fighting it.
I don't. It's like a reenactment of
I'm
Skyrim
just
all over again.
imagining. I'm thinking about Andrew just screaming, "Oh my glob," and then running away.
I probably will.
That's all I'm imagining in my head right
And then
now.
there's
oh
me
my
trying to
glob.
get ropes to ride it.
It's like How to Train Your Dragon.
Let me ride you.
I'm surprised How to Train Your
What a
Dragon
ride.
hasn't died off yet. They're still making another movie that's coming out.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of How to Train Your Dragon, they're making up another movie.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming
Well,
out
it's
next year.
coming out soon. It's the 3rd one, right?
Fourth, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's the 4th.
Yeah. It looks good.
I've only seen the
Alex
first
looks
one.
Very good.
It is the last
first
one.
one
Though.
is
They did
very good.
confirm that this is the last one, which is good. I'm glad they're putting a series to rest. But like the fact that the story has been kind of similar but still changes each time is really cool. I'm excited to see how it ends.
I don't want to see it end. That's my thing. Like I do, but I don't.
But do you want to see Toy Story
Did you
4
hear
end?
about-
What?
Toy Story 4, that's also coming out.
I know.
Did
They
you-
need to have
Did you?
see people
Speaking
took
of Toy Story.
Stan Lee and put him in front of that. Like,
Yes.
they took
I was just about
Stan
to
Lee
talk
as
about
what's
that.
his face.
Stanley
That made
talking
me
to Joss
cry.
Whedon, and he's like here, and he's like giving off like all of his characters. He's like, please do well by them. And then like the last one in the box is
Was
Woody with
Spider-Man.
the Spider-Man on his face, and he's like, this one's
Mhm.
especially special to me. And I'm like, oh, the feels.
That's how it gets you.
Honestly, like when it comes to talking about Stanley, like my inner geek comes out and like will be like, let me tell you about all these Spider-Man that were made, how they were messed up, but the OG Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, 16-year-old self, bitten in a science lab, was by far the best Spider-Man.
So, For those of you who don't know, Stan Lee
Um,
died earlier this week.
If you
I
don't
think
know,
so.
you
He was
live in a
like-
rock.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you
Right.
somehow don't know, now you know. He was like
It's
95
okay,
or something.
but you need mental help.
Was he like 95?
I don't know. He,
He
was
was
95.
95,
I
96.
actually, no, he was. How did he die? I didn't actually figure that out.
He died of a heart attack.
So he just died of being old. Okay.
I mean, it was gonna
No,
happen sooner
like-
or later.
It was, but it's weird because like someone like that builds up such a big thing. Like to me, especially when I saw DC even like reached out and said like DC supports or stands with a legend, rest in peace Stan Lee. I'm like, okay, for the fact that your rival can reach out and say something like that is amazing. Like you impacted people so many. Like there's so many people that move to DC to do greater things. Like Jim Lee, who does a lot of the newer Superman comics and the Batman comics. I love his art. Stan Lee was the one that actually helped him become who he was, and then he moved on to greater things. But you know, Stan Lee never owned Marvel.
What?
He
Well,
created
I don't know
it,
if
though.
it's,
Like
he
that.
doesn't own. I should actually. I take. He's never owned.
I
his
think he
characters.
sold it.
Yeah, he sold. It's either he sold it or he helped Marvel
I could
grow, but he never truly owned it.
I could see him selling and helping it grow, but there's no way he never owned Spider-Man though. Like he had
Actually, no, he didn't own Spider-Man.
No?
Marvel. Well, he made the characters. They are all his original characters. But Marvel, I may be wrong about this. So if anyone out there fact checks me, I'm so sorry. But Marvel
Fact check.
gave him like a big check every year for all his characters, all the work he's done, and everything.
So he had to have sold it.
No, they gave him like a. I don't think he sold it. Like I said, they just gave him a big check because they were like, these are your characters, but because we're Marvel, like it's our characters. I don't know. I was talking to my uncle about that. He said that's what it was. Was he never actually owned it? He just was such a big influence in the company back in the '60s because no one did what Stan Lee did.
Because nobody had the creative idea, if you think about it. Like,
True.
think about all the characters he came up with. Like, you had to have had like a huge mind for some of these characters.
Have you seen the picture of Stan Lee going to heaven and like God opening the doors and saying like,
This is your final cameo or something like that.
no, hold on, talk among.
Or did you come to
yourselves. I'm
take
just
a
kidding.
cameo up here too?
No, it
I've
was
seen that one.
really really sweet. I don't know. I got a screenshot of it.
I've seen
Maybe
a
I
lot of them
don't.
talking about his cameo in heaven.
Oh, it was
Excelsior.
it was a picture of heaven opening up and saying, I don't know. Hold on. Give me a second.
Please stand by.
I gotta go on. Peace, Stan Lee. By.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh, so I met him one time. I don't know if I told you, Nate. I told Andrew this the other night.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I met him?
No, you did not.
Okay. So I've
Great
met
story.
a lot of stars in the bathroom.
Okay, I just want to stop you right there. How is this gonna go?
It's gonna go
It's not
great.
bad,
You're
trust
gonna
me.
sit down and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine. Met a lot of actors in the bathroom. I've met Abraham from The Walking Dead in the bathroom. I've met Eugene from The Walking Dead in the bathroom. That's a story for another time, unless we have time. Oh, I found it. You're not half bad at creating universes yourself, kid. That's what it says.
Huh.
So I thought that was really sweet. But going back to the bathroom talk, I met Abraham in the bathroom, and it was funny because like I peed next to them, and then I went to wash my hands, and they talked to me they said something funny to me, and I told my friend's sister who was waiting for me outside the bathroom that they were in there. She's a huge Walking Dead fan, and they came out and he saw me standing there again. And he goes, "Y'all waiting for us to come out of the bathroom?" And she goes, "No, we're waiting for someone else." He goes, "I don't believe it, you weirdos," and walks away. And I'm like, "Okay, all right." I met some Rooster Teeth people in the bathroom.
Were you the
But
guy that Gus Arola was talking about that couldn't wait for Gus to come outside so he could sign a poster?
No. I met
That'd
No,
be
I can't
amazing.
that guy, Dennis.
I met
I
John
would be like,
Reisinger.
so you're that guy.
He just
I've met John Reisinger and Adam Kovich in the bathroom, or walking out of the bathroom too. John Reisinger was weird. I was walking out of the bathroom and he was walking in front of me, and I said, I whispered from behind. I went, John, and he turned around and just shook my hand, like instantly, like reflex, shook my hand. And I'm like, my hand was still wet. But
You
Stan
just
Lee,
soiled my hand.
he walked into the bathroom and just goes, Excelsior. I think a fan asked him to say it before he walked in the bathroom, and I'm really surprised he walked into the public bathroom because he's like a bigger deal, so they usually put him into a different bathroom. But he walked in,
Well,
and I looked at him.
that's one of the things though is that he was talking about one time. It's like he doesn't see himself as like it's good to have fans and all that, but he doesn't see himself as like that's what he should be.
He's humble.
He's like it's great to have fans that care about you and this and that. But he's like, when it comes to the end, oh, that makes me mad. But when it comes to the end of the day, he's like, I'm just like everybody else.
yes.
He was
You don't
always
find a
one
lot
of
of
the most
people like
humble
that
people out
nowadays.
there.
He was
really
human.
don't. No matter, like, even through actors and rappers and other types of musicians and like fine arts, you still don't see people that are willing to put down their pride. I mean, you can get these people that are like, oh, I humble myself this and this, but if you humble yourself, well, you have to boast about it every time. Are you really being humble about it?
True. And I guess that's why I like Rooster Teeth so much. Is to some people they're not a big thing, but they are a big thing, and like they they love to go out and talk to people. They don't hold back. They go to the bathroom. I mean, some of them walked around one of the cons and bought my dog tag. That made me feel good when someone bought one of my dog tags. I was so excited.
Was it Gavin? It was probably Gavin.
No, he doesn't go to cons down here. It was Trevor. Trevor was there with Barbush. He was like a special guest.
So how would you feel
But
if
Stan
you wrote a
Lee walks to the
comic
bathroom.
and Stan Lee bought a comic of yours?
Oh my God, no.
You just flip out, dying on the
I
floor,
mean,
doing like an angel.
He wouldn't be able to buy it because by the time it releases, he's already dead.
Okay. I meant before.
Rip.
Um,
Rip. Rip.
Savage.
He after he said Excelsior, he peed, and I'm sure it took him a little longer. But I was done, and I went to wash my hands, and he walks up next to me, and like I really wanted that moment where he turns to Peter Parker in Spider-Man. I think it was 2, when the Key to the City
Goes,
thing's going by, and he goes,
yeah.
you know, one man can do a lot of good, and then looks and goes, enough said. Like I was waiting for that to happen. It didn't. It was kind of awkward. He dried his hands and he's like, he looked at me and he goes, "Are you a fan?" I said, "Who's not?" He's like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well," he saw my badge. And I said, "Well, I'm an exhibitor." And he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm writing a comic eventually with my uncle and a couple people, and we sell prints and stuff, and a lot of we do a lot of stuff that you did." He's like, "Well, don't stop." He's like, "You may get roadblocks, don't stop." And then he walked out, and I'm like, yeah.
See, even the tiniest bit
My
of
heart.
advice like that can go a long way.
But like,
Especially
I
when you're
didn't tell
taking
anyone
over the
about it
person.
right away because I was like so excited. And then I think I told someone, I'm like, I just met Stanley in the bathroom, and they didn't believe me. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm not gonna mention it. He's dead now, so I can talk about it.
That's not necessarily a good
Nobody can
reason.
confirm. Nobody can confirm or deny this statement now.
I'm so sorry.
That's all on you.
That's all on you for that one. You're all on your own for that.
Full disclaimer: we do not own the finger.
The finger
We
owns
do
himself.
not. Yes.
Think about this. There are
he lost
more
his
of me
leash a
in
while
this world
back.
than there are people. Look down at your hands. There's 10 of me. Think about it.
I mean, there's only 3,
Ah!
6.
Nate looks down and just sees my face on his hand.
It's on all the
Why can I see that? I can literally physically see that right now. I can see your face on my fingers. It's so weird. It's so weird.
He's on fire. He screams. He's like, "Oh wait, never mind."
It's perfect. I'm gonna totally do that.
You should animate that. No, just slap your face on one of your fingers and take a
Just
picture
that
of it.
one scene. I need Dennis to send
I have
me.
it where he
like,
starts talking.
I need Dennis to tell me send me the file then, because I need the file because of YouTube's licensing stuff, I cannot post Sky Daddy. I cannot post it.
You still haven't let us see it.
Hi, Daddy.
I have, yeah, I know, because the audio files are fried, and I cannot, like, it sounds like, you know what, Android quality videos sound like? Every time I send them, no matter what I send them as, they sound like that.
Yeah.
I said I'll sound like this.
I prefer it to sound like that.
No.
Or no, it was the scrotum video.
No,
And we're not getting into that. Nope.
Oh, yeah,
We'll go as far as Sky Daddy.
That's a story for another time.
That's for us.
The scrotum video I actually got a flagged for.
I can see
I
why.
believe it.
No, because how I animated it, it's I put, now this is out of PG-13 content. I put a bunch of shafts on walls, and then Dennis goes, "Wait, you mean a scrotum isn't the shaft?"
So anyways.
"No, it's the thing under it." So I've just got a bunch of drawn and like picture framed shafts on the wall.
No.
YouTube did not like that.
I
and,
wonder why.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
It's worth it.
Every it was worth it. I would go back and post it again if I wasn't scared about my channel dropped on me again.
You just make a new one.
I'm not making another one. This would be my 5th.
What?
I have
emails you
5
got, son?
channels I'm running right now.
What'd you say? How many emails I got? Oh, some of them aren't even mine. Sometimes I come up with random ones. I'm like, all right, let me make sure this isn't real first. I'm not sending some foreign dude my videos.
Next thing you know, Jimmy emails. He's like, "I found this video in my folder."
I found this video. Oh, we were very
I found this video very offensive.
We were getting very racist and very
Yeah,
offensive very quickly.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
What
You
were
guys
we
are.
even talking about? Let's go back to Fallout or Stanley.
We were
talking
talking about Fallout.
we were talking about washing our hands.
Make sure to wash your hands daily with
We were
soap.
talking about
Do
Stanley
not
washing
drop the
his hands
soap.
and then a
Do
little
practice
bit.
good hygiene.
Do not drop the soap.
What? Okay.
I don't think Nate understands why you don't drop
No,
soap.
I do. Sadly, sadly I do. I just why would you put
Have you
yourself in
dropped
that
the soap?
situation? I
Do you
mean,
want to drop the soap?
I'll make you drop the
I
soap.
mean, sometimes I have when I'm in the shower by myself.
That's why you use gel soap.
I just use soap.
Because if you drop it, it goes down the drain.
But gel soap costs more.
Well, then get more money.
I'm trying to save that money.
Yeah, don't you owe Andrew like $50 PayPal stuff?
Oh
I
yeah.
still do over $50.
I said keep the money. I don't want it.
And then it should go to the Dennis Foundation then, yes?
The Dennis
No, we're good.
Foundation. For only $10 today, you could
That's
donate to the
for
Finger
us.
Foundation.
For only $10.
Do not-
For only 10 payments
Do
of
not,
$10.99
let's
a
not
week.
call it that.
The Finger Foundation.
Help small fingers
FF.
reach their dreams.
Every finger counts.
Every finger life matters. We take
By
small
clicking the
fingers.
subscribe button, you too can become a finger.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
We take small fingers and use their big dreams of becoming big fingers,
We'll put your thumb
and we
into
help
it
them
too.
achieve it.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you'll be starting out as a pinky, then you become your ring finger, then you'll be middle finger, and then you finally go as the index
Nobody likes
finger.
to be the middle finger for longer than 2 seconds though, so we took extra protocol for that.
I like being a middle finger.
Aren't you
Well,
the
you
middle
know
finger?
what?
I'm a middle
Yeah,
finger.
I'm gonna say, aren't you technically the middle finger?
If I have a kid after me and I name him Dennis Lee Finger the Third, I will be the middle finger.
So you're not a middle finger.
Dennis, have my babies.
What the?
I don't think that works that way, but I'll take anything I
Nope,
can.
it's going
Remember,
to
you're
work that
donating-
way. It's going
Which
to
one's the
work
woman
that
in the
way.
conversation?
Donate to the Finger Foundation.
We will figure that out through genetics.
This got weird fast.
You people started
Phone
it.
home.
ET phone home.
I said bone home, not phone home.
Oh
Wink,
my
wink.
gosh.
So,
This is going
Oh my
downhill. I apologize.
this is why we can't have nice things.
I don't.
Or nice fingers.
This is why we
Hi.
don't have nice fingers.
Hi.
I quite frankly love our fingers. And
Our fingers?
This has been
I mean,
5 minutes of talk about fingers. I'm not even kidding.
who wouldn't want to
Why I
talk
set
about
it up
you?
only to be an innuendo, and it did not go very well.
This
at
is
all.
great. This is what I wanted for a podcast was 5 minutes of finger talk.
See, no matter no matter how many views we get in this video, we'll always have 1 million.
Well, you don't understand,
least.
Dennis, is that I've actually got a lot of built-up rage right now because not sponsored at all. Destiny came out with its Iron Banner recently,
I'm
And,
aware.
and I forgot it's light leveled enabled, and I forgot I am also one of the lowest power levels right now
So,
Where are
on the-
you?
with all my Crucible weapons. By itself, like with my best stuff, I am a. Hang on, let me equip it. Hang on, equip it good. I'm a 557,
Okay.
but all my Crucible stuff drops me down to a 552
so on the lines of
Right.
Destiny,
on a good day.
since you two still play it and I don't, like, where do you guys think the game's going? Like, is it dead?
Oh.
Because I know that there's supposed to be a DLC next month, right?
There is
An expansion,
indeed.
yeah. It's gonna be the black people. I mean,
No.
Okay, no. The nine, not black people. Black people are already in the game. That's not. a
So,
DLC.
anyways, it's Black Armory, right? It's Black Armory.
okay, yeah.
It's
that's
supposed to
what-
have like a raid or something, like a
Yes.
raid layer.
It is?
Okay, it's the 9 raid. It's the 9 raid.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
it's like a mini raid layer.
I only knew about the Golden Age weapons, which I assume meaning they're bringing back the Galahorn.
Kvalstov.
Because there's like 3 expansions,
What?
and there's a raid layer in this one,
The
not the next
Kvalstov
one,
is
and the
actually
last one.
confirmed to be being brought back, which, me personally, I don't mind. But I feel like they're going to
Kvastov is OP.
have the Kvalstov, which for those that you don't play Destiny, Kvalstov is an auto rifle made by Russians. You know, aw, dang them filthy Russians. But
Good stuff.
it was a very cheesecaked rifle.
I know Andrew didn't play much of Destiny 1, but do you remember in Destiny 1, like when I think it was maybe year 2 or
First
3,
auto rifle.
the Kvastov, when you first get it from the beginning of the game, if you keep it up until you level up all the way, like you max level, and you use it in Crucible, like no matter what, whenever you use it in Crucible, it shreds. It's a white gun that
Mhm.
shreds.
It would completely wreck people. The only bad part is when there was light level enabled things, you would get
Oh yeah. You die. So if they're bringing that back, that's cool. I want the Necrochasm to come back.
The Necrochasm I don't think is going to be coming back because of it being a hive weapon
I
and being
noticed that, like-
specifically attached to Kuroda himself.
True. But they're not
It's
doing
just like
anything.
you're right, they haven't said anything about the wow, I just said the name. Hive. They haven't said anything about the hive.
Well, they
But
haven't
my
done.
thing is
Well,
that-
okay. This is gonna lead into this is gonna lead into something I heard about Destiny 3. But they haven't done anything with Hive. Like, there's no armor, which is what I'm upset about because I love Hive armor. Like, Kuroda armor is my favorite.
Yeah, I agree with that. They've got the fallen armor's back out. You've got
Which is
the,
cool. I like the fallen armor.
awoken armor. Technically, if you want to get down to species, there's awoken armor,
Which is cool.
and then there's technically there's the taken armor still.
Yeah.
Which is the ribbon, ribbon gear, and then don't mistake the ribbon for the Great Hunt because that's awoken.
Mhm.
But my thing is the 9 are said to be collectors, correct? So
Yeah.
there's nothing saying they didn't collect a fanatic of Crota. You remember that during the Taken King DLC and the not gazebo. Was it the gazebo? No, it was called something else. But there's nothing saying they wouldn't have captured a fanatic.
You right. You
And
right.
since the fanatics are echoes of Hive in one way, shape, or form, there's nothing saying that there couldn't be a mimic or fanatic of the what's that gun called again?
Necrochasm.
Shut up. Yeah, necrochasm. That chasm. Wow. Okay. Yep, we're not gonna talk about that.
So you guys never answered my question.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. It's,
You kind of went on your own
What
thing.
was the question again?
Where do you
Sorry.
think Destiny 2's headed? Because everyone's
I
saying
feel
it's
like
dying
Destiny
off.
2 is one of those. My thing is with Destiny 2 is one of those games that it is literally an up and down roller coaster. It has its up and downs. I don't think it's going to die off just yet.
I'd
because
say in
of
about
how
another
big the
year.
fan base is. I give it about 2 years. 2 years
Okay.
before it starts meeting like a threat towards the servers with that.
So I'm kind of figuring out. I think I know what Destiny 2's purpose was.
I think it was a filler.
No. It was great. What it was is Destiny 3 comes out next year. They've already confirmed that they're doing Destiny 3. I don't know if it's next year or the year after, but they're still going to be doing it relatively sooner than this one came out with Destiny 1. This one, they don't. If you really notice, they don't talk about the darkness at all.
Because of the, I've heard it's because of the Traveler being destroyed. Or not destroyed, but being separated.
They want to explain the light. They literally explained the light growing and how the Guardians get the light and everything, and then the light exploding and being, more prominent, and then like even Aldrin gets a shard of the light and mixes it with the darkness. That's when they start talking about the darkness again. Destiny 3, they've already said it's supposed to be about the darkness, and they finally are doing, or they haven't confirmed it, but someone that is really good at finding stuff on Reddit has already confirmed it, that they're going to have it where you can have a darkness subclass, which is what I've been waiting for since Destiny 1 year 2.
Would that mean with the darkness subclasses? Would that mean that there's for the hunter? Are they sticking to their concept art of the poisonous spear or scythe?
I think so.
Going along. Now here's the thing. I've heard also things going along with not just one subclass but multiple, because with the darkness there's a lot of in the lore there's a lot of connections to like the plagues, the horsemen, the 7 horsemen, not only being with a gun, but the plagues themselves. So I'm wondering if they're including either weapons with that or the subclasses.
Might be different.
Like, what way do you think they'll route with that? Because I also heard that with the 9 DLC coming out, the Horseman is coming back out itself.
Oh, jeez.
Which, for those that you don't know what the 7th Horseman is a god-awful back in year 1 shotgun. It was really good, but the recoil on it, you could be looking at the ground, and within 2 or 3 shots, you were looking at the ceiling.
At least it's not the Land Before Time.
Oh, Land Before... You mean No Land Beyond?
Yeah, I know.
Land Before Time was that movie with the dinosaurs.
I know.
Land Before Time. Yeah, I hope you aren't shooting people with dinosaurs. That'd be pretty cool, though.
But
Ceratops.
So
It's like Ark all over again.
Destiny 1, the reason, well, this is going back to this is trying to go back to answering Andrew's question. So Destiny 3 is supposed to be about darkness, like all about darkness. It's supposed to this one was to focus on light. The next one's supposed to focus on darkness. It's going to be more hardcore. So like while you're doing patrols, people can kill you. Like other Guardians can kill you. It's more RPG based. They're going to be doing, so it's going to be more like a Fallout feel.
And I'm all for that.
Which is going to be awesome. The way
You mean I don't have to wear pants?
possibly. And they're going to go back to actually making it where you had to level up your guns. Like, that was something I missed. Like, I actually liked having to kill things and level up my guns. And the characters in Destiny 1, there was so much more to building them.
Yeah. I feel like...
more simplified. This is a simplified version of Destiny 1.
Yeah, I was about to say that, like, it's just... Everything is just dumbed down.
I feel
from
like
the first.
Destiny 2 should have been either a larger step in the game basis itself or a prequel.
I mean, you expect
feel
the
like-
second game to be better because it's the second one. Like they can learn from their mistakes
the
from the
second
first
game.
one.
Right,
Here's
but I feel like they made more mistakes with it.
here's my theory, and this is what I was trying to like talk about Fallout 3 for. Okay, Fallout 1, I played that game, or Fallout 1, Destiny 1. I played that game all the way till it ended, like until this game came out. I've played this one. I took some time off from video games in general, but I came back to this game to play it again, and I feel like what it is Destiny 2 is kind of wringing out the people that are not true fans.
Like me.
Okay, so if you stopped playing it, you're not a fan of the series. You're not a fan of the lore. You're not a fear. You're not a fan of
Then again,
Bungie.
I didn't.
Not saying it as like a harsh thing.
I didn't
you see
really
what I'm saying,
start
like,
it's not
with
a bad
Destiny
thing.
1.
If you didn't start with Destiny 1, but if you manage to stay alive through Destiny 2, and then Destiny 3 comes out, it's harder to play because you saw that mission that was 580. I'm 594 now. We couldn't even do it.
I hated that mission because I kept getting thrown across the map.
I know.
Every 5
I
seconds.
feel like
I like those
So
games that
mouthpiece
give you more of a
quest.
challenge. Gives you more to
That's
work
no
for.
exaggeration. That's the bad part.
But I feel like they're making a lot of quests harder, I've been noticing. And I think the reason for that is because they're getting ready for Destiny 3, and they want to wring out all the people that will not play Destiny 3. Like they even said like if you don't play the game for 3 hours a day or a week, like you're behind. Luckily for me, I play for 3 hours a day.
I play more than that sometimes, but don't tell
play
anybody.
more.
So I think Destiny 2 it may fail, Destiny 2 may fail, but Destiny 3 is going to bring back everything from Destiny 1. They may make some mistakes again at the beginning.
I
Hopefully
hate
they just go
Titans.
back from Destiny 1 and copy and paste it. But
I wouldn't copy
I
and
think-
paste.
Can we nerf Titans? Like
Like
get
you
rid
want to
of them,
make
please?
it still a completely separate thing, but still have like the same
but I think
same sort of style through it.
true. But I think Destiny 2 was a siphon. It was to break off the fans and the non-fans, and even actually it did build some new fans. So there's that.
Because a lot of people realized Destiny was such a good series, and a lot of people jumped on it from Halo. So
That's
Yeah.
why.
I
That's
mean-
the only reason I bought it.
I was see. My thing is, when Destiny came out, I believe I was in 7th grade, and I didn't join until. Oh, I didn't join until after the. What DLC was that? The Fallen one. What was that?
The House
Yeah,
of Wolves.
House
that
of
was
Wolves,
the second
yeah.
one.
House. I did not join until the House of Wolves. I mean, I joined a few weeks
Weren't
before
too
it, but
far
I
behind.
got the advertisement. I got the advertisements for it and everything. That's when I joined.
I mean, I started playing when it came out for like a month, and then I gave up because it was just bad back then when it came out. It was just,
It's not that it was bad; it's that it was so ahead of what it needed to be.
it just felt like there was
not
nothing
everybody was
there.
ready for. Well, that too. Like, but that's think about it. It was so ahead of where it needed to be, at the time. Like you look back at it, that was the first of its type of game, like a full-on sci-fi MMO RPG.
They tried to get the Halo.
What other name
style
name
through
another game that was like that at the time?
If a game can last for 4 years and still have fans consistently playing it, it was a good game.
Yeah.
Exactly. And my thing is they allowed there to be so much lore built up on that game itself. Not by them,
I miss
but
Grimoire
by
cards.
the fan base. You miss what?
Grimoire
Grimoire?
cards.
Oh, I loved Grimoire cards. Like, me personally, I have a file in my computer actually listed completely for Grimoire. Because
you-
my thing is like Grimoire was the game itself if you really want to talk about it.
Mhm.
Grimoire based the game around its own logic. Because without Grimoire, you would have never heard about certain historical warlocks like Osiris. I think Toland was Toland a warlock or was he a Titan?
I don't remember.
I think so. He was one of them. He wasn't a hunter. I know that. But you would have never heard about Cade's basis with his son, or what he thinks is his son.
Yeah. No, that actually, I like the Grimmer cards were cool because people made their own stories to make them more diverse, especially on YouTube. And then Bungie was like, you know what? That's great. We'll add to
Canon.
our story we had and make your stuff canon as well. So
Dealing
that was
like
the thing
with
was Destiny
Saint
1 was more
14 and
fan based.
it was, and I feel like Destiny 2 they took the Grim War out because they didn't want people building off their game, or they didn't have enough time for it.
I think they tried to bring it back though with this lore tab.
Oh yeah,
It's a little
my
different,
thing
but
is
it's still it's cool.
it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I love everything about it. Like there is nothing I like. Me personally, I would love to get all of the darkness tab, all of it, because I was
Yes.
developed with the darkness side of Destiny, and just the idea behind it, the idea with the Zoo of the Nine, and how they kept not just enemies that you fought, but different species, and along with sometimes guardians.
Mm-hmm.
There is a talk about how the Nine would trap the ghost from its guardian by taking out the light of both of them, and harness it, and just leave it. But at that point, they are. But here's the thing: is if you read about the Nine, they're not meaning to be a bad guy at all. They're meaning to clean up what they think is wrong. Because if you read
It's
into
like
more of it,
Thanos all over again.
well, that's the thing. It's a lawful evil. Because if you read about it, are guardians really the good guy? They're going into certain places that the aliens have, like the Fallen, the Hive, the Vex, that have all made their home in that spot. They're taking it and they're changing it.
There goes my party. One sec. What's been going on lately? It's just my internet. It's been stupid. Though I've been kind of letting them talk, but
We lost connection for a second.
yeah.
I did. I noticed.
Uh,
I noticed that.
I just
That
sat
was
here
not
talking
good.
to a mic.
no, I was
I
like,
was
I just go, and we lost connection.
I did the same. I'm not gonna lie.
But my thing with the Nine is, I don't see how they're really bad guys at that point. I don't see how they're the enemy at that point. They are keeping containment specimens to study. I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to eventually in the next DLC fight them, but my thing is with the introduction of the Nine, how are they gonna work that around with Xur? Because Xur
I
is
don't
the
know.
only one of the Nine to actually go out and market what he's captured.
Yes, which
So does that mean?
there was lore to him. I
Does that mean he's an
remember. It was like-
outcast, or?
I think they allowed him to help Guardians. But he does seem like an outcast. I think he's more of an outcast in this game because if you notice, he hasn't gotten new stuff yet.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if maybe that's leading up to the DLC too. So going back to what you were saying about how maybe we're the bad guys. Something I always thought about in Destiny 1 was, is the Traveler actually a bad guy and we just don't know it because we're blindly obedient to him?
I feel that very strongly.
I
that
want
was
to
something
fight
that
the Traveler.
I feel like there's no speak of the Traveler, how he came into existence. There's just talk of he always has been and always will be. There's nothing saying what he has always been or what he'll always be. He always has and always will.
So he's like God. He's been there and he gives you light. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. But like with that, him, like you said, us being blind to it, is he really what we're supposed to perceive? But you know, there's also talk about when the Guardians were corrupted by the darkness, or what we call the darkness. You know, they saw like stuff from the Hive, and they listened to it and they understood it. They didn't want to leave after that.
Like
And I feel like
Eris.
that's because they
Eris-
found out a truth. Continue with Eris. I like hearing
She
stuff about Eris.
she doesn't like the Guardians very much, but she helps them.
She doesn't like the Guardians, even though she used to be one.
Yeah, but because like the darkness has opened her mind more. Like even though she doesn't have her eyes, she sees everything.
Exactly.
That's
And
what I
I
want to
feel like
become like Eris.
there was. I wonder if they'll add that as a species though. Is that not awoken, but they open-minded, something like that.
That'd be cool to see another race come into Destiny 3.
There was a lot of expectation for another race to come out during Destiny 2. There was a lot of concept art that people saw, like a not just a an exo class, but the scout class, which was your sweeper bot style, a thinner but specifically to that race armor pieces. But Bungie saw it as unfair because the character was so skinny itself, the hitbox would be smaller.
They need to make a fat person.
Can we have obese people as characters, please? Thank you.
Can we have Spider as
Alice?
a character?
Just imagine walking around in Crucible, you see that run at you. It's like, oh no, just run away. He's gonna sit on you.
Full
Just start
speed.
screaming.
He's gonna sit on you.
It's like Harambe.
No.
Right as you said that, I got shoulder charged by a Titan from the back.
Blue 42.
Screamed, I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, but my thing is with it is there's another Guardian that is spoken of that I can't remember his name, but he was a Titan, and when he was with his fire team on the Dreadnought, he talked to the sisters from the Oryx grade.
Mm-hmm.
He talked to them and he said he lived with them for 2 years on the Dreadnought.
Oh, they were in love.
No. They never once attacked him, but they said this place will consume you. They understood that his light was fading and they took that from him, trying to convert him over to the dark. Like, take the light and fill him with darkness. But he died.
Yeah.
Tolan I think no, it was Tolan that talks about it. Tolan's the one that talks about it because he was a part of Tolan's fire team. But that corruption is how bad juju comes into play. Like, that is the corruption of light itself. Bad juju is a great gun and it's coming out next DLC too. If you listen to
I
Tolan,
got that
he talks
from
about
actual. I got that from. Remember, Destiny 1 used to have exotic bounty quest if you did enough regular bounties. That's how I got that.
No, I got that's how. The one weapon I wish they did come back out was with Last Word or
Thorn.
no, not Thorn. The Last Curse, I think it was, or something like that.
Last Word is coming back, by the way.
There's two guns. It was the Last Word and then the First Curse. First Curse never got that hand cannon, but I heard it was phenomenal.
I got Thorn after it was nerfed.
A year one or after they re-released it?
Year 2, when you walk around the tower to celebrate year 2, you literally they just gave it to me for free, and I'm like, ugh.
That was ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Did you get? I know we're talking a lot about this, and Andrew's not really talking at all. But did you get the Thunderlord yet?
Yes, I have gotten the Thunderlord, and I love the weapon. I love what they've
It's
done with it.
great. They've buffed it.
It's you hear it's actually #1 used in the raid right now.
Yeah.
So,
From what I hear, I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Well, I used to use LMGs only too. Like rockets, they don't do enough. Everything else doesn't do enough. The LMGs, you just hold it down the trigger. It's doing more damage than anything.
it's just spray and pray.
Yeah.
But
But
anyways,
going back to the Cosmodrome was so I was full of nostalgia. And I was talking
Right,
to Andrew when I did that,
none of the cars were moved. Nothing was destroyed.
and I was so sad because okay, you do the mission, then you have to turn back, and there is a question mark of return back, and it had a question mark, and I kept going, Andrew, does that mean I can traverse around? There's nothing to do. I really wish you could go back to the Cosmodrome.
There is nothing. Actually, there is. There is one thing that you can miss, and it's a piece of lore.
Of
So,
course.
You know how in the Cosmodrome,
Dennis.
well, it's nothing you can unlock, but it's something you can see. You know how when the Iron Banner, or not Iron Banner, the Rise of Iron DLC came out, you had the Siva everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Well, notice how when you get to the Cosmodrome, there's no Siva.
There's also snow everywhere where there wasn't snow before.
Mm-hmm. But if you
Sorry.
look closely in the darker parts of the area, you'll see a red light moving back and forth scanning. Now, I was reading into that, and I was like, maybe it's just the, some not the servitors, but the what's it called, the Shanks, right?
Yeah.
It's not actually, because the pattern of the Shanks have with the beeping lights is completely different from those of the Siva cutters that would saw into the walls and all that. It's completely different. So my thing with that is the Siva really gone with the Warmind, or did the reawakening and the freedom of the Warmind grab the control back of the Siva? Because you know how it's all gone. The damage is still there, but it itself is gone. And I just got killed by
And
that
it
new
didn't-
exotic bow that came out a few weeks ago.
And it didn't leave at the end of Destiny 1 either. It was still there. That's
It
cool.
didn't. So I'm wondering if they'll do something with that.
They probably will. Maybe in Destiny 3. If they don't in this one.
Oh, that's my thing that upset me. Upset. Upset me.
You
a little
upsetted
was
me.
The fact that they, the fact that they didn't have any basis around the Siva itself with the Warmind DLC. They had a lot of the armor looked like it was Siva, and all.
Yeah, I
don't get me
noticed that.
wrong. But there's no basis around Siva, almost like it never happened. Saladin never talks about it either. He never says anything about it during
Lord
the Iron
salad
Banner
dressing.
Lord Salad Dressing, Lord Ranch. But when
What can it be
you
put?
talk to him and try to listen to dialogue, even rare dialogue that comes up in his dialogue files, there's nothing mentioning about the Siva. There's things mentioning about Aphrodite and the other Iron Lords, but there's nothing mentioning about the Huntress either, that was control the Iron Banner at the time of what's it called?
Like, what's it called?
Rise of Iron. There's no mention of her at all. So I'm wondering, is she gone again? Like, has she gone on the hunt, or what happened to her?
Maybe they'll bring her back. I mean, don't they have one expansion pass that they haven't really announced?
They have. What was
They've
it? Two that
announced-
they announced? 1, 2.
They've announced.
Well, they
that-
announced the name, but like they didn't announce any info.
I mean, they tell you like what's gonna be in it. Like the third one's gonna have another mini raid and a bunch of stuff with that.
Oh, all the expansions I feel like will have a raid, no matter what, no matter
No, the
But
second one
how
doesn't.
much you want them or not.
Second
the
one
second
But
doesn't.
they don't
Oh, okay.
explain what the enemy is.
Yeah.
That's very true.
When's the first expansion pass come out?
Isn't it like mid-December?
Okay, I got mad about this. All right, so I spent money to try to buy the pass for all of the stuff on it, right? Like the seasons pass. It didn't let me buy the seasons pass. Instead, it bought me the game digitally. Best believe I was mad.
So do you have the expansion pass?
Oh, yeah, I have the expansion.
I'm
I don't
sure
have
he has it yet.
seasons pass. I don't have the seasons pass, but I have the expansion itself. Yes.
So Andrew doesn't play the game anymore. So you want to record with me?
I will gladly record.
Because I want to
If you
record
guys wanna
that since I
play.
started off as a Destiny channel.
My thing, Andrew will probably play once it comes out again, because I noticed Andrew likes to.
He's gonna be at low level.
Never.
I
you're right,
might. I might just wait until 3.
All right. Well, that's fine with you.
Like the thing with me
we'll
is
play
like
you
it-
in and what happens.
We'll
I
fill
love
you in
I
with
love the
everything that
game.
happens,
I
but
love
yes,
everything
You can
about
watch
it.
my videos.
I love everything about it. It's
My
just I
thing
don't
is-
have time for it.
That is a big thing too. Yes, time is a very, very slim thing.
And I'm a collector, so I
There's a lot
like
of
to get everything. And I know I've already missed a lot, so it's gonna make me mad that I didn't get it. So
You haven't missed much. There's only for every expansion that comes out, there's at least one exotic that's like exotic quest line that's come out. Now for Forsaken, there was 3.
There was
which
more than
made me
3.
there was Malfeasance, the bow. What else?
Thunderlord.
Okay, 3, right?
That's
There
Ace of
was
Spades was sort of
something
like a
else.
guarantee.
Ace of Spades was actually
it's-
Ace of Spades though was a quest though.
There was, yes, a 4. Well,
there
if
was
you
more,
think
but I
about
don't
it,
remember.
I guess Mida was a quest too, wasn't it?
But that was in year 1.
That was way back when it
But
came
still,
out.
it's still yeah.
And then, well, if you're going back all the way back then, you got the exotic Cabal shotgun. You got the sleeper
Back then,
stimulus.
yes.
You got the
World Line 0 technically.
There's
Here's
like
the
a
whole
bunch of
quest line.
stuff. If we wanted to go all the way back through the whole game.
Damn. Man, if you think about it, yeah. Wow.
The sword.
Whisper of the Worm. Technically, it's a quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malfeasance, stupidest quest out there, but godly gun.
We'll get that. We'll get that when you're closer to 600.
I have never got. I still have yet to get that. The quest.
Well, you can at least accompany me. I'm just kidding.
I will gladly accompany you. I will. My thing is I'm not. When I
What
go
if it
for
gives
an
you the
exotic
gun?
quest, I'm gonna do that. You could do that glitch with year 1 in Destiny. There was a quest line you could do and it could give you the gun. I wonder if let's do that. There's a few
We
guns
shall
could do
find
that.
out.
My thing with it is every time I went for exotic quest, I would never keep the exotic. Never. Unless it was super good.
Yeah.
I would never keep it. I would do it strictly for the lore. To
Yeah.
read the lore on the gun.
I mean, if I knew I was gonna use it, I'd keep it. But most of the time, I deleted them, and then just, if I needed them again, bought them.
Yeah.
I
Which is
like
a
to keep
great.
one
I
of
love that
everything.
Destiny did that with the Forsaken DLCs that allowed you to break them apart and grab them whenever you want.
Yeah.
Forsaken added a lot of things that should have been added when the game first came out.
Well, they brought back everything that Destiny 1 already did.
Mm.
They brought back the books. They brought back. They added to it though. They brought back stuff that added to it.
Yep. So
Did Nate die?
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
okay.
No worries. No worries. I haven't died yet.
I'm currently dying, so. But that's it.
Yeah.
Unless you guys want to talk about anything else.
No, I think we
covered
we
everything.
talked. We covered a lot of things.
Over
We
Fallout,
went into Destiny, which was something I did not
Destiny,
expect.
Destiny.
I didn't either.
I mean,
So
in case you're at this point in the video, I'm gonna say something. dumb.
if you somehow didn't
Uh,
skip through everything,
If you decided
You
to stay
haven't
here,
gotten annoyed.
okay, we still need a name. Podcast with no name
Yes.
might be taken. Someone else has called it the show with no name.
I just called it a Let's Talk. That's just how I work.
So that also ideas. We don't script these, but
This
we
one
give
was
ourselves
completely-
Oh,
topics.
you don't? Oh, hang
Like
on.
we had no idea what we were gonna talk about. Like we knew we wanted to talk about
Well-
Fallout and Stan Lee.
I don't remember
and
that on
Steelers.
the.
Yeah, and Andrew, I just hear. Oh my gosh, Nate.
Hold on,
Wait, which
let
line
me
is
find the
this?
page. Let me find the page. Hold up.
It's on page 83 towards the bottom left. It's you're supposed to say what page. It
Oh, I
is.
see it. Oh,
After
I
that,
see it. I
it's
see
me
Oh,
it.
yeah.
explaining This. You
Yes,
saying I
okay,
see it?
yeah.
Okay. And then Andrew, and then me still
Uh,
going on the whole time.
Wait, isn't there supposed to be like
Yeah, it says that I somehow dropped out of the party. Yeah, that sounds about right.
isn't there supposed to be like an
Oh
outro?
wait, that's my cue. Oh, that's my cue. Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, thank you all for watching. It's been fun. This
Um,
is a pretty good podcast compared to last time, even though we were prepared last
Well,
time.
like- yeah. Well, last time, no. Last time we were prepared. This time we weren't, and it went on for longer.
I think another big help was Nate. He joined, being a third man. Give a hand to Nate.
Oh.
Everybody give him a
We
hand.
couldn't have more people like this. I got a friend named Trent, and maybe we could do a 4-way.
No.
Oh.
No, I wouldn't describe it like
No.
that.
you know what I mean. If we were to have, I mean, if we could ever one day have like 6 people in here, it might get hectic. But hey, whatever, let's do it. Like,
Yeah, we
let's
just got to
reach
keep
the
everyone
scars.
organized, though.
Scars.
Can't have everyone
Um,
talking at once. Keep it organized.
Is it purple?
Well, that's why we have a basic topic or 2 topics or 3 topics we want to discuss. Sometimes Andrew has questions for these, like he'll have more detailed questions
a
to keep it
destiny?
more on track.
Your
Or
destiny
it turns into
is to help us.
5 minutes of talking about fingers. But
So
I
anything.
think we're done.
So thank you, Nate, for coming on.
No problem.
I love you.
And this is where the weird part of the video comes out. Oh my God. We'll see you all next Friday. Talking about who knows.
I love you.
Bye.